accomplishments. I'm a lifelong Minnesotan, a proud descendant of the farmlands in central Minnesota. I'm a wife and mother of 5 boys. I'm a former first lieutenant in our nation's armed forces, serving in 3 branches over 16 years. I'm a survivor of military sexual assault, which led to the birth of my severely disabled child. I'm a local elected official, serving on the Ramsey County Board of Commissioners. But most of all, I am known by the title that was given to me at birth, the title which has defined and limited so many of my opportunities I've had throughout my life, the title of woman. To be a woman in this country is to know at every stage of your life and in every pursuit you undertake that your actions, your successes, and failures will be understood primarily through the lens of your gender. When I served in the military, I was the first woman in almost every job I held. I was proud to blaze a trail that others could follow. But if I'm honest, I never asked to serve as an exemplar of my gender, but only to serve. They call that a privilege, but it would be a far greater privilege to live in a world where women did not need to prove their worth of their gender to earn the respect given as a matter of course to men. When I was raped by a fellow service member during my officer training program, I knew the consequences and judgments I would face if I were reported, and it would have a permanent impact on my career. So I stayed quiet for nearly 10 years. I knew because I had heard the things said about other women who reported that they couldn't lead if they couldn't protect themselves, that somehow they knew the risk of the job, that it would be our fault to be in a situation in which a man would be tempted or provoked to rape. It sounds absurd, but that harsh reality is still true today. In public service, we hear all the time the words of our nation's founding fathers and illustrious statesmen. Often my mind returns to the words of Abraham Lincoln, who declared America to be a land dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. We have trained ourselves not to hear that word men except as a universal, a description not of a gender but of mankind. Yet the nation they brought forth on this continent was one governed not by consent of all the people, but of men alone. And although the work of many generations before us have brought women closer to the ideal, our laws and our society still enshrine inequality in the deed, if not in word. It's for this reason that it is so important for you to advance this amendment. The search for true equality before the law is the great effort of American history, the singular thread that runs through so many of our nation's seminal moments. Our Constitution is the truest and most lasting statement of our fundamental values. And it is not only fitting, but crucial that equality for all be enshrined there. It is only by these means that we can live up to our rhetoric and build a future all our children can survive and thrive in. Thank you.